Alright, it's the start of day 3. We had a lovely stay at this Airbnb here with a jacuzzi and everything. Lovely breakfast as well. Last day, it's 8:45 or so. 17 kilometers, I believe.
About 17 kilometers, yeah.
And the weather's looking a little grey, so we hope we don't get a lot of weather. We hope we don't get a lot of rain, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's go. Ooh, this way.
Dries has found a shorter way. It's a very good trail, yes indeed. I think that's his favorite pastime, just finding impossible trails. I don't know. How hard is the trail? At least we don't have to worry about smelling sweaty. We're just walking through culinary herbs all the time. Another rosemary bush. More time on the ground. But after like a kilometer, we decided that the bush was too thick to whack further. We're just turning around. This will be a measure for nothing, probably would just be back at our start. But anyway, we shall live.
So we went back to the start, but with half an hour delay and the useless kilometer under our belt. When you do these GR or GRP routes, I'd highly recommend sticking to the trail markers, or at least follow a route that's also on a national or local map. After our shenanigans on the cliffs on day 1 and the bushwhacking of day 3, I have definitely learned my lesson.
Typical, of course, that as soon as we put on our jackets and waterproofs, the rain stops falling. So at least we're prepared for when it picks up again, I guess.
It would be silly to think that we could go hiking in November and not get rained on. At least the temperatures were still very mild and the rain would turn out to be just a small splash here and there. If you have the time, just find yourself a nice tree to take shelter under and have a short break. Have a snack, read a book, or do some knitting.
Sometimes I have a post-apocalyptic feel when walking through wilderness and seeing these remains of some society which we haven't seen in a while. It's like we're the only people on the planet. houses from nowhere. It's like a shrine to hikers. Oh, Etienne went missing here only 10 years ago. Man. Puts things in perspective. Okay, let's not do that.
And during these little gigs that the host of the B&B gave us for on the road.
A lot of roadside walking later. I think we can finally head back into nature. Le Matel, 3 kilometers.
With reality checks, little cakes and asphalt ingested, we continued on towards the historic town of Le Matel, where we planned on having lunch. This stretch of trail was really quite beautiful. It went through the iconic French landscape of rolling hills with vineyards. It was actually the first time seeing vineyards on the route. The sun was breaking through the clouds now and then. I think that's enough to give most people a smile.
Alright, I think we have located some features which you have visited before, I think. Not sure if you can see it. Here there's like a pretty crazy formation. That's the Castle of Montferrand, I think. And then behind the 2 hills here, you can see a rise. I believe that's the Pic de Saint-Loup. Which means the town of Matel is in front of us, and behind it will be our end point. Saint-Mathieu-de-Tréviers. We can see the end already. We have to get there without getting wet, because the weather is looking very menacing over there. But in front of us, or above us, blue skies. Just had lunch. It was delicious, like a pig's shoulder, I think it was. So good. Don't have any footage, but we might show a picture. And I will check out this lovely old town of Le Matel whilst our food gets digested.
Le Matel is a small fortified town. In that way, it's similar to Violefort, which we visited the day before. The medieval nucleus is surrounded by walls and pierced by a few fortified gates. Its history goes back as far as the 12th century. The village is built along the sides of a hill which was once topped by a small castle. The narrow streets lined with greenery ooze coziness.
What a magnificent stone here in the middle of this sort of dried up riverbed. Lots of animals using this path as well.
Not to burst your bubble, but those are dog tracks.
And aren't dogs animals? Huh?
Yeah, but you make it seem like it's animals that use this track. No, it's people that come here with dogs.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I wanted to make this sound adventurous.
What is he saying?
Halloween is past, guys.
In this town of Halloween.
From Les Matels, it was a short trek to the next historic town on the list, Saint-Jean-de-Cucuy. It is another picturesque fortified medieval village, just like the others. The main attraction here is its fortified Romanesque church, which used to belong to a priory established in the 10th century. The church was fortified in the 14th century with machicolations and the bell tower keep serving as a refuge.
You want to be on film too, puppy? We were on the final stretch towards Saint-Mathieu-de-Tréviers, the endpoint of our 3-day journey. Sadly, it was all roadside walking. Not the best way to end what has otherwise been a very enjoyable and beautiful long-distance hike. We tried to savor those last moments on the trail by having one final lie down in the fields as we looked back on a satisfying journey.
Look at all these pretty flowers in between of the vineyards rows. There's our destination, so close now. Saint-Mathieu-de-Tréviers. It is the end of our hike. Don't go left.
Don't go left.
No, we have to go right. But I'm gonna skadoosh the sign. Skadoosh! It is the next day. We were too tired yesterday to film the end of this hiking vlog. But we're done. It's done. Our first complete long distance hike. Fully complete. What do you think?
Yeah, I am especially happy that it is completed, because last time in the Vaucluse that actually was a really big heartbreak for me and gave me, or well, made me not very confident in my feet anymore. So I'm happy that I could trust my feet to bring me from Saint-Mathieu-de-Tréviers also back to Saint-Mathieu-de-Tréviers.
Yeah. For me, I think I need to do some better planning. Follow the signs that are made for the trail, not my own trail. And yeah, if you do that, everything turns out great. And the hike itself, it was very beautiful. Just the third day was a lot of street side walking, I think.
Yeah, that was a pity. That was so much asphalt.
Yeah, hurts the feet, but they're good to go again. So we'll see you on the next vlog. Thanks for watching. We were the History Hikers.
And like, comment, subscribe and all that good YouTube stuff if you would like to see more of these kind of vlogs.
And until next time. Bye bye.